There's a very interesting side story going on, given that we're talking about coronavirus and Florida and Trump's election. There's a side story that kind of pulls together coronavirus, Florida, Trump, 2020, and more. And the story is about the 2020 Republican National Convention, which is now in jeopardy. And more Republicans are saying, I'm not going to Florida to a huge convention. That doesn't seem safe at all. And Donald Trump is now going to have to balance the risk of holding a mass event in one of the global hotspots, not just national hotspots. Florida is a global coronavirus hotspot. Trump would have to say, what are going to be the optics of doing that? What happens if turnout is terrible? Because that's also the other side of this right now. So to catch you up, the RNC was supposed to be in North Carolina this summer. North Carolina's governor said, you can't do it at full capacity. We just can't, given what's going on with coronavirus. Trump was upset. He moved it to Florida instead. Lunatic Republican Governor Ron DeSantis is like, sure, do whatever you want. The latest news is that many Republicans are saying they're not going to go. Mitt Romney's not going. That's not a huge surprise because he's been one of the most vocal anti-Trump Republicans right now. But other Republicans are bailing as well. Senators Roy Blunt and Pat Roberts said no go. Florida Congressman Francis Rooney is increasingly looking like he's not going to be there. Marco Rubio sounds to be on the fence. He's a senator from Florida. Imagine having an RNC in Florida to nominate Trump, and one of the two senators from that state doesn't go. Senator John Thune, Liz Cheney. There's a lot of Republican elected officials who are saying it's not seeming like a good idea. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley is a question mark. Now, consider the hypocrisy of this, given that Republicans want schools reopened. We had 100,000 active cases in the country in March, April, and it was deemed too dangerous to go to school. So schools were closed. We had 100,000 cases, close it down. We now have 1.8 million active infections, and Republicans are saying, open up the schools, but I'm not going to the convention. That's way too dangerous. And these examples are very widespread. You know, it's too dangerous for Paul Manafort to be in prison because of coronavirus, but all schools should reopen. So this convention thing could end up being a problem at this point for Donald Trump, no matter what. Now we talk about self-inflicted damage. He spent months saying the convention will happen. If it doesn't, he looks weak. So that's potentially a problem for Donald Trump. If he does the convention, there's the problem of spreading coronavirus in a state that is racked with one of the worst outbreaks of coronavirus in the world. If Florida were a country, it would have one of the worst coronavirus outbreaks in the world. And if Trump does it and the turnout is low, he gets the bad optics of spreading coronavirus plus the bad optics of people not showing up. So once again, self-inflicted damage. Now, meanwhile, I don't even care about a Democratic National Convention. I mean, listen, I'm voting for Biden. I know what the right move is in November. I don't need a convention. I don't need debates. It's just such a clear choice. Keep people safe and remove Donald Trump in November. Let's move on. Get Biden inaugurated in January. Hopefully we'll have better functioning therapeutics, more production of monoclonal antibodies, convalescent plasma, maybe an early use vaccine. Hopefully will start to be available. From a circus standpoint, of course, I would love to see the debates. I would love to see the convention. Our live streams would do so well streaming this stuff. But I don't want anybody getting sick and dying. Even the sycophants that would show up to a convention in Florida in the middle of a pandemic would be exactly the people that wouldn't want to wear masks and would be most likely to spread disease. So, you know, I would love to see conventions. They're only every 4 years. I would love to see the debates, but the truth is we don't need them. We all know what the right thing to do is in November. Now, as a reminder, the real reason they want schools open is not for education. It's not for the mental health of the students. It's they need the economy to look normal. Many parents can't work if their kids aren't in school. That's really at the crux of it. If you believe that your reelection hinges on things like things seeming normal, you want schools open because so much depends on schools being open, putting cars back on the road, parents going to work, businesses opening. A lot of it is connected to the daily routine of parents getting their kids to school. That is all that Trump cares about. If you care about health, you've got to look elsewhere. You're not going to get anything health-based from this administration. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.